It's the sure sign of a good time. The just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
This is the Coach's Scouting Report, featuring Coach Rick Venturi on 101sports.com.
Welcome back to 101sports.com and the Scouting Report. Zach and the coach here, Zach McCright, and 27-year NFL coaching veteran Rick Venturi. Rams, Ravens, Rams 0-2. Got to have a win, Coach. Let's tell the people how they do it. First, on defense for the Rams. Let's focus there first, and I know it all starts with Ray Rice.
It really does. If I had to say one thing, I'd say it 3 times. Ray Rice, Ray Rice, Ray Rice. You definitely have to stop him on the run. If it takes an 8-man front to do it, commit it. All right, the other thing you have to do with Ray Rice, always have good coverage people on him. He's one of the best multi-purpose, if not the best, run and pass catching backs. At the end of the day, don't let Ray Rice beat you. Whatever it takes, don't let Ray Rice beat you, and then think about what you do next.
Okay, now what to do next. If they're passing the football, I keep on thinking Anquan Bolden, but we also got to remember about Dixon at tight end.
There's no doubt about it. There's 2 guys that you have to really worry about. Dixon, the tight end, and Anquan Bolden. Now, Evans is a guy that they traded for. He's got ability, but he's struggling with an ankle. He hasn't emerged, so he hasn't been the threat. You've got to play them in the box. It helps you to stop Rice. It helps you to stop the tight end. And where Bolden is the most dangerous, Zach, is when he's in the slot in the nickel. As an outside Z receiver, he's just a guy. When he comes in the slot, that's where he's tough. Now, the good news is when you're going to cover him on 3rd down, you'll have Bolden, Dixon, and Rice all in the core, so make sure that you use bracket coverage when you're not blitzing.
The wide receivers, like you say, on the outside the numbers, they can be handled, so are we going to see a lot of blitz maybe?
Well, I think you definitely have to get after Flacco. I'm not a Flacco advocate. I think you can force him into the big play, the bad play, the interception, the turnover. I think their receivers are okay. There's not a tremendous amount of speed here. So I think you can really bring it. So when you bring it inside, bring it outside. And then when you're in a 4-man rush, give it stunts to the defensive right on McKinney. And let's turn Chris loose on over Michael Orr, the blind side guy. Now back over to the right side. Let's get after him.
All right, that's the defensive side. Now on the offense for the Rams, Coach, with all the injuries to the running back core for the Rams, it's going to be tough to run the football, but we don't want to forget about it.
You've got to run the football even if you nickel and dime them. You're not, with Nada in there in the middle and Cody and Ray, you're going to have a hard time making a ton of yards. This game is not going to be measured by how much yardage you make running, but you have to make the run a threat to make sure those safeties, either Zilkowski or Reed, are spinning down in the box. So you've got to keep the run, and when you do run, don't hammer it inside. Run perimeter stuff, bounce stuff, use quick screens, get to the perimeter. The Ravens don't run like they used to, so spread them out and make them run when you're going to run the ball.
But Bradford's got to have a big game.
Bradford,
passing.
You've got to beat them passing. Hasselbeck threw for 358. Bradford's got to have that plus 300 day. The weakest part of the Ravens are the corners, Webbs, Williams, Foxworth. That's the weak sisters on that team. You got to be able to isolate those guys and work on them. Plus, you can play action Ray Lewis. You can play Jared Johnson. Those 2 veteran linebackers don't run well. You can get in that back end a little bit. Be aware of Reed, though. Reed can still play. If you're throwing that ball inside the numbers, look him off, Sam. You've got to look him off.
As a fan, my biggest worry, though, is the protection of Sam Bradford. That seems like it's going to be key.
And that's where you have to steal a page from Tennessee. What Tennessee did is they realized that Baltimore wins by blitzing. They don't win by covering. They win by blitzing. They compensate for lack of coverage guys with blitzing, but the coverage is still there. Make sure that you handle those blitzes. Make sure, particularly the inside blitzes. They blitz Ray and McClain a ton up in there, give you that 46 look more than other people you've seen. Make sure Bradford is protected from inside out so he has enough time. Now, Sam, do what Hasselbeck did. If the play isn't there, dump it off or get rid of it. Don't let them get a big play. If the Baltimore defense doesn't get big plays with their defense, they're not going to be successful.
You can get all the keys to the game from Coach on 101sports.com. Just look for his name, look for his mug on the weekend, right there on the front page on 101sports.com. You can get all of that in text form, and then you can catch him on the pregame on Sunday, Rams-Ravens at noon. You catch me in the postgame. The kickoff starts at 3 on 101 ESPN. For Rick Venturi, I'm Zach McCright. We'll see you soon on 101sports.com.